to know the people who are here at BlogPaws, as well as the folks who are going to be speaking. Some of the things I wanted to have you make note of is Friday night we're having two unprecedented events. We're having a project runway in the style of Project Runway with sponsors, and this will benefit Pet Rescue. Speaking of, we will then follow it up with Meet the Rescues, and this is going to be some surprise announcements there too. So anybody who's involved with the Pet Rescue, wanting to help animals, please make your presence known Friday night. We will really be happy to do it. And finally, our nose-to-nose pet blogging and social media awards will take place on Saturday night. This is the Oscars of the pet world, and for anybody who's a finalist, congratulations. To those of you who are here on site, thank you. You will not regret being here. You are being awarded and applauded and recognized for your hard work. The pet industry and the world in general is finally noticing pet bloggers at large. So give yourself such a round of applause for being who you are. And thank you. Thank you all for being here, and I'd like to introduce you to Yvonne Javita, who is the co-founder of BlogPaws, and she's going to say a couple words about the conference and things to look out for, and I'll hand the mic over to her.
Thank you, Carol. I really want to welcome everyone and thank all of the sponsors and all of the attendees and everyone who is here at BlogPaws, because it's not about us standing here right now. It's about you. It's about all the people that we know and have come to meet face-to-face here at BlogPaws Conference. So as Carol said, this is our 6th annual BlogPaws Conference. And I can't tell you how excited we are to be here in Las Vegas. We have heard all the things about the venue this year. We have some fantastic sponsors. I've been to each and every exhibit, and I recommend that all of you go to each and every exhibit and say hi. We have some wonderful things planned, sessions that will teach you how to improve your blog and grow your traffic and just be a better blogger, because that's what BlogPaws is about. BlogPaws is about helping bloggers achieve their dreams. And so this weekend, Carol kind of touched on some of the things that are happening. We're going to be doing a lot of, we're doing shelters and rescue donations, because that's a part of the blogosphere that we support. There's just a lot going on, and it's hard for me to name it all. So I'm going to turn it over to Chloe, because she's the executive director of programs and events, and she probably has a better handle on some of the other things that are going on.
Hello, everyone. As the Director of Events and Programs for BlogPaws, I get to work with a lot of you. We have lots of different campaigns going on, and I just want to say the future is brand. And the way that brands and bloggers are able to work together right now and do programs and get the message out and really share important information to your audiences, that is just on the cusp of getting huge. So we really hope that you'll come by our booth, BlogPaws and Pet360, as part of the Pet360 family, and all being cast members. We will be over there to answer your questions, to speak with you about anything you have that you want to know about the business of blogging and how you can be involved with us more. This conference is very much about that, and all of these brands are here because they want to work with you. And they really are interested in you and what you have to say in your blog. So please, share all of that information with them, share it with us. We want to continue to grow, and that's all the future shows right now, is a lot of growth. So the opportunities are there for everybody, whether you're here as a brand or as a blogger, you're here as media, whatever your role in the pet industry, everything is about to just blow up. Boom, as Gino would say. Where's Gino? But I want to thank everybody for coming here. I hope you make amazing connections. I hope you network well. I hope you visit with everybody. The brands are doing crazy, amazing things, and now is the time. So let's take advantage.
I also want to make note that Tom Collins is here, and he's also a co-founder of BlogPaws. Tom has to stand there and look nice. What we have is another unprecedented event. Tonight, the Win Feline Foundation is naming for the first time ever someone who is at the conference for a very special award and recognition. And to that end, a rock star in the pet industry is here to talk to you about getting that award and also some of the things he'll be talking about at BlogPaws. So give a welcome to Steve Dale.
So, I write a blog too, chicagonow.com/Steve Dale, and a lot of the expert speakers are talking about how to influence others with your blog, and that's an important thing to do. What I'll be talking about is a little different. We all blog, for those of you that blog, about what? We blog about what? Pets, she says, and she's right. So the lives of those pets matter a whole lot, a whole lot. And I'll be talking about two different things. I'll be talking about behavior, animal behavior, that is the number one reason why our dogs and cats are actually given up to shelters. It is perceived poor behavior. I'll specifically be talking about cat behavior, because cat behavior is sometimes so misunderstood. I'll also be talking about an epidemic, and this is a news story, and the pet world is ahead of the medical world, actually, when it comes to this story, and that is about Lyme disease, tick disease in general. You maybe have heard a lot about it, maybe you've heard a little about it. I can assure you that in 2014, 2015, and 16, you're going to be hearing a lot more about it. I've been hearing about it a while now, and for those veterinarians here, you know about it because the veterinary world has been ahead of the human medical world. The mapping in veterinary medicine, for example, for tick disease is actually better than what the Centers for Disease Control has. I will show you all that. I will talk about that on Friday, and in fact, that is a news story, and you will be able to go back home with a news story. You mentioned, and I thank you for doing this, Carol, the Win Feline Foundation. I've been on the board of the Win Feline Foundation for about 10 years. For the past 8 years or so, we name a media award winner. And I will tell you, as a blogger, you know, and if you don't, you should know, you are a part of the media. All of you make an enormous difference. And for those of you who say, my blog only reaches, fill in the blank, 500 people a day, 2,000 people a day, 10,000 people a day. It doesn't much matter, because together you are all making a difference. I choose to be here because in some ways this is the most important conference that I go to every year, because it's about reaching people, it's about making a difference, and also it happens to be one of the funnest conferences I go to. Because I look around and I see those who are registered that happen to have 2 legs and 4 legs. Last night, 3 legs as well. And that makes me feel good. I mean, I go to these conferences and in about 10 minutes I get homesick for my pets. So it's always a pleasure to be here. This, I think, is my 4th BlogPaws. And I'm grateful for BlogPaws being what it is. And wow, it is continuing to grow every year. It is doing that. I also thank the Pet 360 people for all the work that they do and their various assorted sites, which are also growing in alignment with BlogPaws. Thank you.
So we're going to open it up to some questions and answers from our panel. And one thing I did want to say, I'm hearing over and over, how can I get to know the brand? I'm a brand. How can I get to know the bloggers? Most of us have a cell phone. You do a selfie with a brand, seek that out, they suddenly know you, they're on your radar. They want to get to know you, you want to get to know them. Make your presence known, have a good time, and continue being the rock stars you are, because you're here on some level because you really care about pets. So if anybody has any questions, you just, raise your hand, shout them out. You're welcome to talk to any of the panelists. We're happy to answer.
2010 was the first, 2010, first year Columbus. Tell me how you feel, tell us how you feel about what has become of this event. I was so proud to have been there the first year, and then to come back and see what it is now.
I need to quote that.
Yeah.
First of all, I want Caroline Gowan to come over here. She's one of our co-founders.
Columbus is her fault.
Yes. All the way. So, I mean, the 3 of us with Flo was there, but she just wasn't visible yet. And in Columbus, we thought we were going to have a fun little conference with a few brands and a few bloggers. And lo and behold, within a couple of weeks of announcing what we were doing, we already had so many interested in creating this face-to-face kind of connection with brands and bloggers that we had to go out and get an event planner, and we had to make a full conference out of it. Well, since then, as you can see, we have grown to the level of where we are today, and we have a whole lot of loyal BlogPaws people here that just, it just makes our hearts so happy, because these are people who feel the same way we do, that pets are just a vital part of our lives. And we have so many new bloggers here that we get real excited over the prospect of having some new faces and some new voices and people who are just starting to blog. So what could be better than that when you're in a community like this that is all about the health and welfare, the human-animal bond, and the way pets and people help each other, the way pets and people love each other. Here's something back down.
This way. Just come away from the speaker. Sorry.
I just gave a presentation on being the change just a few minutes ago. And I talked about our first conference, actually, so it's very fresh in my mind. But we're three bloggers. I mean, just a couple of, three Yahoo bloggers that decided we should do this type of thing for all of us. And so we did, and we decided in late December 2009, that in early April 2010, we were going to pull this thing off. And we didn't know what we were getting into, but I can say, I know I speak for all of us, we're so glad that we did, and hope you are too.
I just want to add one thing to the question about the change and what's happened since 2010. I talked to Larry Kay and a couple other people last night and heard stories about connections that they had made at prior BlogPaws conferences that had come to fruition and turned into opportunities for them. And even when I say it myself, I get chills, because that was the magical thing that we were hoping BlogPaws could become, a place for people to connect and start working together. So yeah, that's the biggest thing that's happened since 2010.
Anyone else have a question? Larry? Introduce yourself.
Larry Kay. Statistics. How many people at this conference? How many people were at the first BlogPaws conference? How many exhibitors at the first one? And how many exhibitors here?
Really good question. For folks who are here and you're taking notes, this is a good treat.
No pressure, no pressure.
It was just over 200 attendees at the first conference. Now we're more like 500 attendees. So pretty much doubled.
More than double.
Yeah, it was between 20 and 25 sponsors, and this year we have 58. So everything is pretty much doubled, and that speaks to our blogger programs too. They've also doubled. So everything is in a doubling mode. Blogger program, for those who aren't familiar with what that term means, it's when we work with bloggers and brands year-round to get important content out in front of people on a regular basis and in a very organized manner. So we manage a lot of those for companies like Hills.
I want to say also that, as BlogPaws grows, we never want to lose sight of the fact that we're about building relationships. We're not about having a bigger, huge 1,000-person, 2,000-person conference. We're about having each person meet someone of value and importance to them. So you will never see a BlogPaws that is so huge that you're getting lost and can't find the people that you can talk to.
And also, just to give a perspective, we have a large contingency of new bloggers here this year. So we have folks from Australia and New Zealand. That's commitment. So you're being heard, and that's the really thing that I have learned the most. You're not the crazy dog out there. If you are, we love you even more. Or you're are you a cat dad? Are you a ferret aunt? Are you a chicken friend? I mean, it runs the gamut, and you're not going to be laughed at here. You're family. So if you leave this conference and you get to talk to a brand, meet somebody new, get engaged with the media, come to a dinner, introduce yourself, and I'm going to come to your house and I'm personally going to tweet you and I'm going to get you on your computer and make sure you're, next time around. So we like to say, I came up with this quote this year that we write the blogs that make the whole world read, and you all are evidence for that. So tell your people how awesome you are, your followers, and what you learned at BlogPaws. We just thank you for coming. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.